when there's something going on, it's a long ways to get there.
Straight up Route 3 through the mountains of Franconia Notch and past the winding roads of Bethlehem and Whitefield, you'll find the quiet of Pittsburgh.
You're secluded. You're in your own little world up there.
It's that quiet tranquility that's kept Nelson Boir's family living in the North Country for more than a century.
Gets a little slice of heaven.
And it's on his 2 a.m. drives up to the border as a logger when he says he spotted something unusual. People walking.
It's not really the kind of place you'd really see someone walking this time of the morning, but you kind of look to see if someone's broke down or anything like that, and they don't make eye contact, they don't lift their head.
New Hampshire's northern border spans about 58 miles. It's part of the U.S. Border Patrol's Swanton sector, an area that also includes Vermont and New York. It's been under a microscope recently after politicians and some locals say that they're worried about possible illegal crossings in one of the state's most remote areas.
So you have no cell phone coverage and no electricity, no landlines. It's a no man's land.
Right now, we're on Hallstream Road here in Pittsburgh, and right over there, over the border, is Canada. Law enforcement up here tell us that there have been reports of people crossing the border and walking onto people's properties here. Literally right over there is Canada.
You could throw a rock and hit Canada.
Coos County Sheriff Keith Robarge says the woods in the North Country make the terrain difficult to cross, but there are some spots where you can just walk right over from Canada. And with a shortage of officers, it isn't always easy to track people down.
You could sit out here for hours, days, and not catch anything, and it's so much wilderness. You leave and they can come across.
It's important to secure the border.
Those concerns are what sparked former Governor Chris Sununu to form the Northern Border Alliance, with the state committing $1.4 million to support extra patrols, efforts that Governor Kelly Ayotte has promised to continue. So is this really an issue of illegal crossings at the northern border, or is this something about the lack of law enforcement that we have up north, which we know is a problem?
Criminals are very smart. They know that this is going on. They aren't coming over the New Hampshire sector because they know that we have a Northern Border Task Force, that alliance that's working, state, local, federal.
So we went up there last.
But critics like State Rep Alessandra Murray point to the data. In the last 5 fiscal years, there have been just 36 apprehensions by Border Patrol at the New Hampshire northern border.
I don't believe that our northern border is a problem that we should be, problem period here in New Hampshire, but definitely not one that we should be spending state dollars on.
We spent weeks trying to get straightforward federal and state data. The Attorney General's office reports the alliance, which can't make immigration-related arrests per federal law, has made 21 non-immigration-related arrests for crimes like DUI, assault, and driving with a suspended license, conducted 43 criminal investigations, and has assisted Border Patrol 10 times, acting as backup, the AG pointing to a case of human smuggling. They also say there have been 8 intelligence reports sent to the state's Information and Analysis Center, but they wouldn't share specifics about what those are or if they're immigration-related at all. Ayotte says that she believes these efforts are deterring people.
They can cite all those statistics all they want, but they should go up there and speak to the local law enforcement, whether they think it's a good idea.
And Nelson says that he hopes people will understand why he wants this extra support.
I think some people figure that it's not as important. Nothing goes on up there. And a lot has gone on up here.